Okay, cool. We are live. Get the tunes playing, as one does. I do want to try messing with something, actually. We've still got like 14 minutes till Walp starts. Let's see if I can... Weird. Trying to mess with something, but it doesn't seem like it is working. Gonna work? No. Doesn't exist. Cool. Sure, okay. It's nothing important. Makes the noise though, whatever. Alright, yeah, you can hear the whatever. Oh, there we go. Okay, this will be worth it, trust. There we go. Gergam. Look at him. He's very weirded out by the camera. He doesn't know how to feel about it. Yes, Gregor. Yeah. Oh, you gonna move? Yeah. Okay. I'm not surprised. I'm definitely not surprised. Well, maybe I'll be able to make use of the doggy camera if Gregor ever decides to chillax in a spot that is cameraable, I suppose. And like, Gregor is very smart. He knows when he's on camera, and he gets very excited about it. But that means he doesn't want to sit still in his bed. He wants to sit right next to me instead. Which I can't say I'm surprised by. Okay. I think I might go ahead and briefly cut him up sneezing, but I don't think it did much. Good boy. Okay, but yeah. Walp today. Funny Walpurgis. General reception-y stuff. Curious to see what, the uptie stories will be like. Yeah, and the plan will be to pull, look at the units, read the update stories, that sort of thing. Maybe Mirror Dungeon, depending on how I'm feeling. We shall see. Any proposals in this one? It's... honestly, it shouldn't be that bad. There's no egos, and... oh, my mic's positioned weird because I was messing it. Okay. Yeah, there's no egos, and that means I have every ego, so my... what does it get buffed to? My 3-star chance goes up to like a, what, 2.9, I think it is? Goes from 2.6 to 2.9. So I've got technically slightly better odds because there's no ego. Yeah. And I just need to get both 3 stars. Might end up getting a few fair dudes. I've got like 250 pulls right now or something. I should be fine. Just ran a little loop on power to help you with me with my pulls. That's so nice of you. I'd play the sound, I'd play the effect, but this is gonna be really loud, isn't it? Because
I made sure to scatter around some loop-on power.
Why is OBS like that? That was really bad, wasn't it? I didn't hear it myself, but I saw OBS just play it at full volume, and I just know that probably wasn't good. I just need to not do it through OBS. Thank you for the Lupon powder. That'll help a lot. Gregor's he's been funny today because I gave Gregor a bath earlier today. And I don't bathe him too frequently because he really doesn't need it too much. He doesn't like mud, so he rarely gets super dirty. But I bathed him because he'd like to try and deal with some fleas because I thought he might have a flea issue. But it's always really nice because after he gets bathed, his fur is very soft for a little bit. So I'm just petting him and it's very nice. The big baby. What's this? Oh god. There's always like some annoying notification button in like in the chat for me that's just like, oh, to a members only live stream. Why would I do that? What is the purpose of that? Thank you, YouTube. YouTube just needs to add a point system like Twitch so people can gamble. Like, I feel like it really needs to do that. That's like the one thing I really wish YouTube had, because I don't really think I'd ever use Twitch because it being like a completely separate platform makes it like seem super distinct, and I don't stream enough to really warrant it, I feel like. If YouTube just let people gamble, that would be so awesome. I love gambling. Oh wait. The bar is a little bit in the way. If I do a little... Okay. Does that work? This camera stand is not helping whatsoever. The out of the XP, I guess that is similar-ish. Gregor's just staring at me. Maybe I just... There we go. That's good enough. The XP is so weird. Wow, top fans. You guys can't even see this menu. And you can see the top fans, whoever's been interacting the most with. I know, it's interesting. You still have so much pilfering prep, it's insane. That's nice. Oh, itchy dog. You itchy buddy. Hopefully he'll stop being itchy soon, since I did give him a flea bath earlier. Isn't that right? Good boy, he's eating his foot. The thing with yeah, he's doing the eyes emoji. He's very good at that. He knows enough keywords to tell when I'm talking about him. Isn't that right, Gregor? That one's an obvious one, right? That's his name. Makes sense that he knows that one. 4 minutes left, okay. You're gonna be my good luck charm, Gregor. Yeah, I'll keep Cam on as long as he stays in the cage. It is like, it's one of those like cages that he's not like locked up in there or anything, of course. He just likes it. He likes the bed. And the actual caging part isn't super intrusive. He likes being able to curl up and be all secured. Big baby. Also, I just noticed how, like, the eyes, like, on stream, the eyes have been, like, slightly, like, chroma keyed out, so they look super weird. Do you recognize keywords? Yeah. There's plenty of dogs that know plenty of words, and Gregor knows a lot of words. Back when I, like, actively did, like, the Daily Mirror dungeons, like, Gregor knew, like, the little outro thingy I did, and whenever I said it, he'd, like, wait a second and then come over to me, because he knew that meant I was done and it was time for me to take him outside or something like that. It was very funny. I don't know if he'd still do that now, because I haven't done that for almost a year at this point, but he's good at pattern recognition. That's alright, buddy. Luna and Vegan. Funny names. Yeah, we love pets. So awesome. Isn't it right, Gregor? He still knows I'm, like, recording him or something of the like, since he keeps on just glancing over here. He's not really able to go to sleep right now because he's just so intrigued by all the antics afoot. Mimir, indeed. You might also notice, you can kind of see it here, but, like, he's got two collars on. Because he's got his normal collar on, and he's also got, like, a little flea collar I put on that I got today just to make sure that doesn't end up being an issue. It's very funny looking. One minute left, okay. Isn't that the case? Oh yeah, I completely, like, I haven't thought at all about the fact they're doing the Enkavlin spending event. Because they have not done that since, like, a month or two into Limbus's launch, right? Yeah, because it was like a week before April Fool's, yeah. So it was literally a little over a month into Limbus's launch that they did the first Enkavlin spending event. Because I remember the entire bit was it lasted 2 weeks in one, and like, what was I saying? Yeah, it lasted 2 weeks. The first week was before April Fool's, second week was after April Fool's, and the things that had unlocked during April Fool's tied to it, right? I think I've got the April Fool's banner still, I think I've still got that set on my profile as one of my main banner thingies. There we go. It's time. Probably won't be a super large update because, I mean, it's two IDs. It'll be, like, decent, but not, like, a crazy amount. Yeah, it checks out. I did see, like, they have added, like, a little, like, download speed tracker thingy here. 150 modules. Yeah, that's pretty simple. You get, like, 12 modules a day, so it lasts for 2 weeks, I think. So you've got a little bit of wiggle room, really. If you straight up don't have any modules, you will need to be a little you'll need to be a little attentive about modularizing everything, but otherwise, like, in 2 weeks' time, you get, like, 12 times 14, that's 148? Or 168? Yeah, 168. So you'll have, you even miss, like, 18 of them, and you'll be fine. Oh yeah, I need to turn my volume on. Daylight savings time gaming. We're gonna see. It means we'll get Kanto 9 during daylight savings time stuff too, and that's quite hype. I don't even need to do it. I don't even need to double that up. It's just a habit. Wowie, there they are. Oh yeah, let's look at the event first. Certain libraries general limitation. Oh, Rolly Dog. What's this? Is it just an empty space? Oh yeah, it's just empty space. I was like, what's the Ruina logo doing here? Yeah, it's just an empty space signified there's not a second thing there. Extraction tickets, 10 pole. Banners. 5 pulls in total. Okay. That's 20 pulls in total, not bad. And also a bunch of boxes and banner type stuff. They could just not put the space. Yeah. Oh well. It's nothing super major. There's really not a lot of, like, stalling to do right now, right? Because it's really just, the new IDs. Anything else worth looking at? I've still got one of these. I meant to use this on Brilliant Glory, and then I forgot. I think I also meant to use this one on, like, basically every other VOV, like, that we've gotten, like, the past year or so. Actually, is this a recent takeoff module, or is it an old? I don't remember when I got this. I've had it for a while. I've been meaning to use it, and I just never remember. Well, with only IDs. I guess we've never had a wall with only IDs. I'll just get into the polls. Do the daily poll. See if this indicates, you know, a prosperous future. Otis. Not particularly prosperous, I gotta say. Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of tickets just stockpiled up. Oh, something immediately? It's a normal it's a normal 3-star though. Okay. Who is it? Oh, it's an Otis. I should have known. The Otis from the Daily Summit was a curse. And there's an Otis 2-star there. Not good. I think it might be an Otis curse amok. Nothing? Okay. Nothing. And then last of the normal tickets I have. A lot of 2-stars. That's it. Okay. No Otises though. I mean, that counts for something. Yeah, the announcement. Oh, I didn't even realize I've got so many. Why do I have so many 10-hole tickets specifically? Oh, actually, I think just from the Arknights event, right? Okay, worst possible 10-pole. Let's go. 7 Ryoshu, thank you. Okay, yeah. So not seeming like it's. I need to turn my volume up too. I don't know why it's so quiet. I'm still going through. I haven't touched the lunacy yet. Oh, whoops. Force of habit. Okay, 2 base Otises. We gonna get something anytime soon, I wonder? Would be nice. Okay, it seems like no. 7 Otis already. 70 pulls in, and we got a 7 Otis in the first 10 pulls, and that's it so far. It's looking like it's a 200 pull kind of Walpurgis. Oh, there's one of the 2-stars. Sure. Wow, Hook Hong Lu. Thank you. I'm okay, yeah, I'm pretty fine on the lunacy side of things though. Oh, here's something. I almost said 2 somethings, but no, that's a 2-star. What is it? Ah, Kabura. That's cool. Kind of unfortunate it's not one of the IDs, because there is the chance we get to 200 pulls without getting either of the IDs. And, like, you know, that would be not good. But the odds are low. We have Kabura now, though. I think... Do I have all the Sephiroth? I think I've missed some of the non-Sephiroth ones, but... Yeah, full stop more only Walp announcers I'm missing. And then, of course, some of the generic ones. Well, if they get 200 pulls and I get both the ideas I want anyways, then I could get one of the announcers of my choice. I'd probably go for... I mean, probably Zichun and Wei, right? Because you can get non-Walp announcers, I think, from Ideality. Forgot about Walp 2-stars. Yeah, they might as well not exist. Oh, here's something. Is it just another Gabura? Only time will tell. Nope. Gregor. Irritation. Alright. Cool. We're on a good pace now. Officially. All we need now is Ishmael, so it's at 25% from each 3-star we get. 110 polls, we've gotten the announcer, we've gotten one of the 3-stars. Okay. That's solid. Nothing. I really wanted both of them, right? Ishmael's definitely the one I want more just because she seems mechanically a lot of fun. But I also think, Night Owl Gregor looks like he's fun too. Starlight from Pulse, yeah, that's another, it's a very weird feature. Ooh. Who is it? Gregor dupe, let's go. More Gregor shards. I'm sure I was set on Gregor shards anyway, right? Yeah, I really didn't need them. That's the nice thing about Walpurgis is it's a good opportunity to fuel up on shards. So I'm ready to get all the shardable things possible. That's a very visually appealing temple there. I got really lucky on the Arknights banner. Because I only needed to go, what, 100 and... Was it 150, 130-ish pulls for Arknights? Like... I got really lucky on the Arknights, so if I go a little unlucky here, yeah, normal 3-star, sure. Okay, it's Gross Hammer. Thank you. And yeah, I'm still gonna have so many pulls left over even after I go to 200, so that's fine. Nothing. Worst possible 10 pull, let's go. Okay, 20 more pulls. Looks like nothing from this one. Yeah, the fact that there's no egos for me to get does mean there's a lower chance I get interesting thingies, which is tragic, but I mean, that's fine. Alright, final 10 pull time. Okay. I mean, like, that's 4 3-stars and 200 pulls and an announcer. That's fine enough. I can get Ishmael. Ishmael. He had really good luck in Argents recently. Yeah. We love, Koi Koi. Wowee. I don't know how to play Hanafuda cards at all. Topical Flowers. Yeah, I had really stupid luck in Arknights. I did 30 pulls on the, recent limited banner, and I got both Lemune and Exusier. So that was pretty funny. Well, that's fine. I get my shards. 520 Yisong shards, sure. For next minute, yeah. I can only hope I get good luck for Tragodia. God, I've got so many shards for everyone. I don't have too many Merso shards because I actually had to shard oh, itchy dog. Actually had to shard Cassetti Merso. That's the only reason I don't have that Merso shards. Back when you were focused on Arcanites and now you rolled a case. Spectre Altar banner. Yep. I really want Spectre Altar. Because of the fact I only started last year, I had some stupid luck with Arcanites just in general. I really want Spectre Altar though. I like it as a Hunter Gaming. Okay, what do we get for these? I don't know, that makes a blank. Guess running away did nothing to unseal our blank. Fate matching hand. Cool. Oh yeah, the funny April Fool's thingy, yeah. 2-0 night, yeah. Alright, set of the Tremor team, because I'll be putting here things because on the Tremor side of things. Funny, I've got Fire Fist here. Just because last time I was trying to run Tremor, I was trying to get funny, I was trying to use Crackers for the sake of the Unbrilliant Glory Gaming. Oh yeah, make sure I throw on Capote, because we want Wrathsloth Gloom stuff. Does it mean I keep Christmas Nightmare on over Tidal Elegy? I mean, I guess it does, but, like, I do want to use Tidal Elegy. I think she's better with Christmas Nightmare from what I've seen. How am I doing on these tickets? Not a lot. Okay, that's fine. Well, I can spend my Enkephalid modules. Let's go. Wrong one. I could probably just, like, do a bunch of these and get all the rewards for the Enkephalid spending event if I wanted to. There's not really much of a reason to, but there's not much of a reason not to. Yeah, there's just half of these already. Cool. Bunch of pulls. Maybe I should have done that, like, beforehand so that after to use the tickets there. It really doesn't make that big of a difference, though. Oh yeah, they're on Kepler. I have Walps and 110 pull. Huh. A little bit of good luck you seem to be having. Around the warp train, sure. Nightmare Blunt rotation, let's go. See, we'll do Gurr first because I got him first. Syndicate Night Owls, yeah, makes sense, and then you'll just be like Jong's office fixer. Associate Office Ufi! Ooh! Very cool. I think they did that, what am I thinking of? Did they, what am I thinking of? Have they done that bit already? The Meduvi on 150 bit. Yeah, I know that much. Very interesting how Associate Office is thingy here. Cause like Dawn sure was an Associate Office for Liu. I'm getting a weird sense of deja vu, and I'm trying to remember if this gimmick isn't new. But I also don't know, like, where it would show up if this gimmick wasn't new. So I think I'm probably just going crazy. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I'm just... What do I think? I don't know. It's so, from what I can tell, this weird chat system is like, yeah, like if I look at like you get XP for how much you've talked. It's for talking every once in a while. It's not number of messages. It's like being there for a bit. It's weird. The YouTube XP system makes no sense. Not that I'd really expect it to, I suppose. Mercy. That's funny, he doesn't have that. That makes sense. And nice to hear she's saying no using techniques just say heard. Still hurry up against throws a gap straight through. I still hope we might just come out of this alive yet. Alright, Night Owl lore. Curious to see how this ends up going. The boss at the Thumb Summit? Huh. Got it. Thanks for the warning. I'll carry your name to the grave even if we end up getting purged. Resting his gaze on the skyscrapers outside the window, the child lit his cigar. I told him to watch his mouth since the Thumb Soda Capo would be attending the summit. And yet he's finally done it. And it couldn't have been a more spectacular fail, too. Syndicates that swarm into a collapse wing all have similar interest. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. Was the Night Owl guy the one who was like, oh, what? No, I'm thinking of the Kurakumo guy. The Night Owl guy... It might have been him. The one who was like, oh, what do you mean? What does, like, the Kappa de Kappa mean by having us all drop out of the Nestel when we spent so much resource in trying to take over it? I think that was the Kurakumo Patriarch who got, like, a hand sliced off or something for that, though. Night Owl guy, I think, was just being really mean, so he was killed instantly. Classic Night Owls. Let them at least one of the many alleyways of the back streets and keep a tight grip on it until they can sell it to a new L-Corp that will one day rise as a wing. Thumbs where I set its sights on these parts of it. If Emilia... If Clea Laterano, and the Kurokubo clan are pulling back. Interesting. The Sete Famigli ain't getting pushed out, though, showing me the leading member syndicates still get to keep their cuts. Subsidiaries like us are the ones breaking backs, only for the Thumb to swoop in and stake its ground. As our hot-blooded boss, guess he couldn't just help but asking why we gotta pull out empty-handed. The Night Owls, which the Child is a member, was one of the syndicates vying to claim their slice of the pie in the absence of the collapsed L-Corp, all with the Thumb's permission, of course. However, they were forced to take their hands off the whole business simply at the whim of the Capo de Capi, the Padrino of the Thumb. Is that grandfather in Italian? I think it might be. Something like that? Perhaps he thought it too unfair. The leader of the Night Owls couldn't hold his temper and asked the one question he should never dare to ask. What difference did he hope to make by second-guessing the Padrino's intentions? I should probably just Google Translate Padrino. Godfather. Oh, Godfather. That makes more sense. I knew like Padre's dad or something, right? The Godfather. But a kid was talking about something painted red for the purge. Hardly the same unease I felt back when we were in the enforcers of the purge was happening for real. Anyone outside? Yes, Capitano. Send up the remaining crew to my office. And make sure to let them know what I'm about to say. Don't leave out a single word. Child gathered up what was remaining of the crew at headquarters, but not the ones outside. He couldn't let the Thumb find out the Night Owls had been forewarned. No sense in dying for the ones who were already doomed, he told himself. Is everyone here? You almost heard about what happened at the Thumb Summit. Well, I knew the boss had happened to jump in the gun, but I had an inkling it'd turn out like this. Can't wrap my head around it. To think he had the audacity to question the Capo de Capi's intentions. Is it our turn to get purged now? After everything we did to purge the other syndicates, how could it possibly turn on us? It wasn't surprising at all that the rank and file started to blame their dead boss. Why couldn't you be our boss, Capitano? No use thinking about shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Thank you, Gregor. We can't deny that it was that young streak of his that helped us expand this far. Me? I like being out in the field, getting a little action. The boss might have been impatient as hell, but damn if he didn't know how to keep us in business. For now, we gotta think of a way to stay alive. You can spit on the boss's grave later once we've saved our own necks. How about we cut through L-Corp's nest and get to the other side of the back street before the heat catches on? Fortunately enough, it was raining in District 12. The nest of L-Corp, shrouded in a thick blanket of fog following its collapse, was a perfect place to move without drawing eyes. Any thoughts on where to go from there? How about V-Corp? I heard some kind of monster tore through the nest and left it looking like a butcher's floor. The whole place is a real mess. Nothing I ate bulls in I cooked. Tragic. Yeah, crying children did a number to V-Corp. By now, though, there should be somewhere we can say hold up if we can get there. Not a bad idea. But the question is, how do we even get there? L-Corp's nest and backstreets have long turned into a hellhole where all kinds of pests come crawling in. Thumbs to series like us, R-Corp, and even Lou Association are stirring the place up like vultures on a carcass. One wrong move and we'll be dead before we even manage to get away. I said we lay low till sundown. We could use the night in the backstreets as cover to get out. Then we all die to the sweepers. That face down is Hana through to Ishmael better for seeing the Molar Ishmael. I doubt it. I haven't looked at our kit yet, but Molar Ishmael is really good for maintaining the sinking count thanks to the funny bit she has. I guess I'll have to look at the numbers first. I can't say anything yet. Getting out of L-Corp's nest is one thing, getting away from waves of sweepers when we're dead on our feet is another. I guess one thing about Hanafuda Ishmael is she sure can make use of erudition. Deity Merso, come back, let's go. So there's really no way out. With everyone at their wits' end, a stifling silence fell upon the room, but the child remembered that they still had a way out. His instincts kept screaming that this might be jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. However, the fact was the night owl simply had no other choice. The child's decision was already swaying towards the only exit available. We go to the library. You managed to get an invitation? No. It was already on my desk when I heard what happened to the boss. As if we were being summoned there. Though the child's knowledge was no means necessary for the collection of the one true book, I still hope that the library had a bookshelf to house the child's desperation for survival. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, so this is just kind of like stating that, like, the general invitation stuff, it's not necessary, right? The library didn't need it to progress, doesn't need it in order to work towards the one true book. Very interesting, though. Carmen moment. Because that's why I had that invitation given to him. Yeah, it's just kind of further, like, showing that, yep, it sure is Carmen guiding the invitation. I mean, we already knew that, but yeah, Carmen, like, deliberately choosing people who need it the most and giving it to them. Drop the formalities. We're on the same boat. We don't have time to mind the thumbs and rules between us at this point. Just speak up if you have any suggestions. We need all the ideas we can get if we want to increase the odds of our survival. Going to the library is way too risky. Word is even Grade 1 fixer offices are backing out of any contracts that have to do with the library. Imagine those money hounds actually eating penalty fees just to stay away. Not just the fixer offices, even the fingers are calling it a graveyard. There were index proselytes who went missing there not long ago. The index, huh? Of course, the index. Now that I think about it, they went to the library too. If there's any truth to that rumor, we might be able to gather valuable intel on the index in the library. The book of the index? That would be in the bargain enough for the thumb to overlook our boss's insolence. Are you sure about this? Biggest cigarette I had in 90 till now. I mean, it's a cigar at that point, I think. Not a cigarette, but yeah. I'm going to put my name in the invitation. It's been an honor, Capitano. Hope we meet again someday, Capitana. I hope you'll survive no matter what. Some of the crew bowed deeply to the child and left the office. I trust in your judgment. Rumors always get blown up. The library, I'm pretty confident we can bring it down. The majority, on the other hand, stayed and waited for the child to sign the invitation. Let's set off. I thought the rumors were exaggerated. Guess there's a reason they call it the library. It never imagined it'd be this massive. Greetings, dear guests. Ooh. May you find your book in the blaze and the funny sound effect. So cool. Figure nothing really phases you past a certain age. Think that a fix on the Universe G-Assistant South section would show off Kuro Kumo's sword technique. And it's that R-Corp's comments, though, this time. Color me surprised. That is surprising. That's weird. Because logically, based on how everything is worded, you'd assume this happened like between Thumb 1 and Thumb 2, like kind of around like the beginning of that sort of like row. I guess the issue is with Ruin in general is we don't really have a good timeline. Cause so he the ArcCorp thing is the weird part, right? Cause logic he mentioned that ArcCorp are still prowling L-Corp's nest, but if we had gotten the ArcCorp stuff in the library by that point, then they would have been dealt with already. It was just the fourth pack. And like the clone lids that they made didn't go there anyways, so kind of like weird chronologically, but I'm pretty sure the library is very intentionally. It doesn't follow like a normal time span, right? The fact that like rightmost column has so many different receptions that take place in like the span of 10 minutes, while some of the other columns take place over like a week or so. Definitely hard to have any sort of solid idea, that sort of thing. With column calculated footwork, the child slipped past the gleaming arc of an assistant librarian's orange blade. Sudden thrust attack immediately followed, but the child sidestepped and pressed into his opponent's outstretched arms. Not a single opening to strike. However, the child's pointed peg-leg, which sparked as it recrossed the floor, was blocked before it could pierce through the opponent's neck. Are you alright, Capitano? Not in the slightest. Thought we had at least have a fight chance to take that index proselyte wielding Liu Association's flames. How many of us are still standing? Half of our men are dead. These librarians, the rumors have got nothing on these monsters. Shouldn't we just call it quit and cut our losses? These guys are no monsters. They're humans just like us. Humans who are afraid of getting killed. Kind of. I mean, as far as they're aware, right? Funny little one-off line of dialogue in Ruina that says, whenever their perception starts, the librarians forget that they can revive. You must have a gap or two we can exploit. For an instant, a surge of emotion cracked the child's mask composed before he impaled the librarian, killing them. Perhaps it was the sight of their unflinching leader fighting that inspired them, because the rest of the crew charged into battle once more, the firm grip on the hilt of their stilettos, a testament to their renewed morale. Those freaks! How'd they get so much power? Why do we have to take the fall? Gah! Predictably, though, whatever hope they managed to muster came to a rather grisly end. Every time the curtains closed, some of them would be squashed flat by a giant teddy bear, non-turned perfect frenzy fairies and Rusalive enchanted pyres. So they're being washed by Malkuth. In the end, the last man standing was his child. I think you only have one floor for Night Owls, so they're just being wiped entirely by Malkuth. Yeah, it's going smooth. It's too soon to be rejoicing, though. Yep, Floor's history. Too soon, huh? Yeah, it's too soon to give up. I didn't come all this way just to snuff it like a damn dog. The dog. It's like that. And it's Gregor. Like that. Wowie. I shouldn't skip that. The child would change no matter how hard the child fought against the odds, but that shouldn't suggest that the child's struggles are meaningless. The emotion fueled by his determination might have become ample sustenance for the library. Now let the child press on. May his resolve never waver even as the end draws near. Let them watch him together through the window. Window into another mirror world. Very interesting. So I wonder if, like, is the bit they're trying to go with that, because, is Carmen, like, deliberately showing these to Dante, like, reasonably right? Because that's what you assume. Basically everything in this game, like, has some sort of, like, every single element of the gameplay is canon compliant, right? To the gacha stuff, to, like, the uptight stories and that sort of thing. So it's spoken like Carmen's trying to, like, giving Dante glimpses into the past for stuff like that for various reasons. It's so hard to say what else that could, like, entail. Very interesting stuff. Bring him to max. Okay, cool. Okay, be a passive. Be used up to 2 times per turn. Unless reused. Okay, so that's not including stuff like commemorative coin. Interesting. Make them remember something. Yeah. We really don't have a good idea as to who Dante is still. I did see that they made some changes to some of the early dialogue, like some of the prologue dialogue, and it made Dante seem even more, like, aggressive before they lost their memories, but very interesting. I assume it's just trying to make it more, like, accurate translation. I don't know. Very weird. I need to go through some of that stuff again, because I've heard some of the things, and I've seen little snippets, but apparently a lot has been changed. Pablo's at the library. Pablo's just goated like that. No shocker there. Just look at them fighting. Think that were the animals insects in normally. I mean, we do fight animals though. The weird, like, 8 o'clock circus animal stuff. I don't think there's anything preventing them from sending in animals. Those ones, admittedly, for all we know, could be people who distorted them into animals, but, like, we don't get books from them. Everything seems to indicate that they are just straight-up animals. Just with weird modifications, but they don't have books, so... I guess the fact that they don't have books seems to indicate that, like, animals can come into the library but can't be booked. It's hard to say. Let's see. Kills enemy gain 2 pierce power next turn, once per turn. Very nice. Defense turn, 2 speed difference, max 2, sure. 20% or less, use Mercy. Only once from an enemy after check this passive activates when the target is staggered. Huh. High speed. Slothrez. Interesting idea. Not good. Anything that's defense power down is better now than it used to, it's still hard to use. Yeah, that part's simple enough. I really like the gimmick with Open Wound, right? Yeah, inflict 1 of it, gain 1 by next turn. Choose sacrifice with Deep Wound next turn. And if we go here, we can look at Deep Wound. Yeah, Deep Wound, base stack 3. Tremors gain +1 bleed count, 2 times per turn. Cannot gain Open Wound. Stack -1 by next turn. And if you pop skill 3, it turns Open Wound into Deep Wound. Or Deep Wound into Fatal Wound. Tremors gain +3 bleed count, 2 times per turn. Find equals stack. Very interesting gimmick here with the... You basically need to hit an enemy twice with, I think, any of Gregor's skill 1s or his skill 2 inflicts 1 open wound. So once Gregor hits an enemy twice, which is made even easier because Mercy allows him to attack, like, multiple times in a turn, even with only 1 skill slot. Does it twice, open wound turns into deep wound, then you pop a skill 3 and you get to use Knight's Owl. And then you convert it all the way to Fatal Wound, which just means they're gonna get, like, it's a grand total of 18 bleed count over 3 turns, just kind of passively, which, very good. And also amplitude conversion to Trem Hemorrhage. Does normal skill 3 have that too? I think it does, yeah. And it's conversion, not entanglement, so you need to do some more stuff with that, but that's to be expected. Very cool. Defense skill... Yeah, defense skill makes it so the Purge Force of the family 1 can be 2 per turn, because otherwise it's only 1, and then the other one comes from the... Yeah, the skill 2 effect. Yeah, he seems cool. Curious to see what Jiang's office has in store for us. The very first idea to have 5 different sin affinities. It's very funny since it's for the bit. Well, let's see what our update story says. More J-Corp lore is cool. It's definitely something that, still unfortunate how quickly you passed over J-Corp, so we don't really know too much about some of the antics they've got going on. Surigiri. Presence of observers in a gambling den does not guarantee the games played there will be completely fair and just. It's not even a moral obligation. Funny Backstreet's music. Sometimes the rule itself may state that one may freely cheat as long as they manage to avoid the eyes of us observers, or that even if we were to recognize certain sleights of hand, as long as no one on the table calls it out, we're not necessarily obligated to intervene. The rules we were called here today to observe were, ha, cute, that's 8 points for me. I don't even know what they're playing, but it's not Hanafuda. Oh, that beats mine by 2 points. 100 Flower Swirl. Is it Hanafuda? Huatu. Okay. Sure. However, flowers are namesake, if you will. Battlefield bird. The blossoming chaos of sundry petals hides the poison-kissed weeds from plain sight, sure. So we overlook those who know their place and keep their underhanded tactics low-key. If a poison flower blooms too large and elaborate, drawing the ire of other flowers, we cut it off by its roots. Observer, is there anything we can help you with? Behave yourselves. Overplay your tricks, and we'll catch you. Remember? I'm sure I shared that rule with everyone before today's games began. Oh, I knew it. They've been cheating all night long. Gold tier sure is on another level. Solitaire games don't even have the keen-eyed observers to catch them cheaters. These casinos run on a membership system. Said membership system multi-tier from silver to diamond. Of course, higher tiers provide additional benefits to the guests of J-Corp's gambling den, so what matters more is that climbing a ladder grants access to seats in higher tier games. With higher tier memberships come higher stakes, higher rollers, and higher levels of security against the ever-present cheaters and tricksters in gambling dens. I think we roughly knew some of the details of this already. So gamblers always dream of advancing their placement in the membership tier system. Silver tier games rarely ever hire us observers. We don't come cheap, of course, but the silver tier game's smaller scale doesn't really warrant the scrutiny anyways. Gold is where people like us start showing up. We're hired to observe these professional level games and catch participants with particularly sticky hands. Like this one. Come on, man. I know we've been on a roll tonight, but cheating? Really? You're breaking my art here. You better have ironclad evidence to hit the brakes. And you must be new here. Do you really think your silver tier attitude will fly here? You think you're still at some dingy den where you can get off scot-free from scrutiny by being the loudest person in the room? Listen, I can't just sit here and watch you use wish power to blatantly flip one game after another in your favor, okay? Really, wish power, you little... Seriously, man, are you talking about this tattoo on my arm? This ain't anything special, it's a tattoo of a centipede. What, too icky for you? Centipede, interesting. Centipede apostle type stuff? So that's like very talisman-y. That's a funny looking centipede you've got there. Poor thing's only got 10 legs. Seems hardly enough to crawl about given its size. I knew it! They'd had more legs earlier! What do you suggest? Oh, well, look at him go, spilling water all over his arm. So it's like a little wish power tattoo thingy that the legs go down the more wish power you've spent. Alright, take a look. This for a wish power tattoo sticker. Scrubbing it like so would have erased it, yeah? But I suppose that excuse has worked for you before in silver tier games. But anyone who's been in the game for long enough knows of procedures that actually tattoo wish powers to your skin. Serves you right. Don't you ever disregarding the observer's presence? What are you babbling on about, cheater? Let's see. Where did I sense the strongest ripples? Thinking that I might just thank that wish power user too. Bingo. You placed a chip inside that Huatu card, didn't you? That way you can tell what card it is even with it face down. I'm sorry, I don't. Listen up, people. We're in J-Corp. The origin of both wish power and the singular capable of locking anything safely. Wish power tattoos weren't explained much before, yeah. I know it's gotten a bit cheaper to lock little things like cards nowadays, but... Crack. Storing chips inside cards? This is such an obvious cheat, man. I see the exact trick at least twice a week. No way. They said these locks are literally impossible to open. That's so funny. They're using J-Corp locks to, like... just on cards in order to track them. You've got some nerve thinking that you would carry an F-Corp all-purpose unlocker fairy with you, yeah. Checks out. Anyways, as per the rules stipulated, both of you are to give up your hands. Arms out, please. All of a sudden, we, like, basically don't have any sort of, like, visual, like, indicator of what the locker fairy looks like beyond Bina, right? Like, cause that's the best, like, look we have, but, like, as far as what they physically look like, normally, we've got no clue whatsoever. How funny. Oh. Are these people ever going to accept the consequences of their actions? Banger. Just admit that they got caught cheating, lose their hands, big deal. But make a mess and end up writhing around their entrails splayed across the floor. Nice try. That bullet cost me a fortune. But I hope you weren't counting on beating us observers. Slice the runner from his right shoulder down to his left hip. As for the pipe gun-toting fool, chop off his arms and cut him horizontally by his abdomen. Oh, neat. And that's bright-shaped. Ironic. This is what they've been chasing all night, huh? I guess they found it. We apologize for the disturbance, everyone. The troubles were taken care of, so please return to your games. And they're liking it. Oh well. I guess you shouldn't expect gold tier gamers to have the guts to return to their games after that. Funny that Hot FM is basically casino security. Yeah, because it talks about them being like, I forgot the word they use, kind of like middlemen for gambling, right? They're in Ruina, they're kind of referred to as being, I mean, they're like Ufi stuff, right? Ufi manages all sorts of contracting types of things, and Jiang's office is one of the various affiliates that covers just preventing people from cheating. It's very interesting though, because like, how is this different from what Noah and Emma were doing in Ruina, right? Because they were also working J-Corp security stuff, but instead of patrolling the room, killing anyone, or I guess not killing anyone, just putting people in their place that try to cheat, they just watched from cameras, and what, if they saw anything, would they let one of the various observers know? We don't really know just how fancy of a casino, Emma and Noah were working for, but the vibes were definitely that it was a pretty low-tier casino, because the entire bit with them was that Emma was like came from like a rich family, could get like a really good job, but Noah just had to go with whatever he could get, which wasn't particularly good, but Emma decided to join Noah anyways just because they're friends. Something like that. Very interesting. Who knows? There were like the generic casino security guys in Kanto too, right? The one that, you know, destroys the wish farm machine because of Heathcliff's antics. I really can't remember. No, they were working casino security stuff. They watched a bunch of monitors to try and see if anyone were cheating and try and prevent that. That was their job. Yeah, I'd really like to observe a diamond tier game one day. That was quite impressive. What? How long has this guy been sitting here? Excuse me, were you playing a game as well? Why, yes, everyone seemed to be using the J-Corp simulator and its variations with such abandon that I thought this was simply the kind of game they were playing. 100 flowers swirl rule, was it? I decided to cool off and hide, given how it seemed to be getting a little too hot for my tastes. You hid? Well, I stopped to see how gold tier games are played nowadays. I see very little has changed. So you're the representative of the Zhong's office, yes? You still have more techniques to learn to recognize, but you've got good intuition. But what really stood out to me is how you managed to clean up the mess afterward. Very intriguing. Hold on, where do you... A sudden thought flashed in my head, just as I was about to stop the silver gentleman from leaving. Should have been able to notice him despite the chaos, but I never picked up his presence even when he stood before me. There's no other explanation. It's gotta be the veil? The veil! Let's go! It's finally been mentioned again. Are we gonna get anything meaningful on it? Isn't that perception unlocking tech exorbitantly expensive? If you're soldering about with a tech like some overcoat, then he's got to be in the diamond tier, or even blue diamond. This is at once an opportunity and a warning. Opportunity in that I've unknowingly managed to give a positive impression to a high tier player, possibly expanding our clientele, and a warning that in that if I couldn't pick up on those more techniques to learn to recognize, I'd never survive as an observer in the high rollers games. Well, now that's something not even money can buy. No other way to put it. Looks like the biggest winner in today's games is me. Well, we get a veil mention, but we still have no idea if it's actually like a big singularity or if it's like a weird one. Very funny. Actually, wait, did he... Was it... But we... Dimension whether you went to the library, I'm tripping. No mention of the library here. They're a separate mail world from the other vault things, I guess. Sure. Actually, wait, let me look at that again. I want to look at the guy again because, like, he was described as being silver, right? Silver look, and not the tier, like silver coat or something. I've got a suspicion, but I need to read that again before I can. Is out? Yep. Maintenance ends an hour earlier because of daylight savings time ending. Let me read that again. Geiger's so cute. He's sleepy. The Silver Gentleman. Because I'm like logically trying to figure out, like, it's not Sonya. I was like thinking, like, that's the one. Tell me it's out. Yeah, it's out. The one thing I was wondering was, like, is this supposed to be someone we know? I don't know if it is Sonya, though, because, like, Sonya isn't supposed to be super closely connected to casinos, right? He was there, and, like, Eurodevier had, like, a big stake in the one in Kanto 2, but... Good keep in mind, this is pre-Ruina, so it's been, like, a couple years since this into it. Yeah, what's Sonya doing before the library? I don't think so. I don't think he'd be there. Golden Bow doesn't exist. Well, Golden Bow exists yet, but the Golden Bow existed before Library. The general gist is they've always been there. They only just started being really like sought out recently with Limbus. So you're a puppeteer with the skin suit. Yeah, like, we don't have any evidence that Zhang or in that one specific casino anyways. How did the polls go? I had to do 200 polls to get Ishmael, but fine enough. I got Gregor in like 110. And I got the Gabra announcer at like 70 or 80-ish. Trying to see how this guy. That was impressive. Seemed to be using J-Crypt. Such abandon. It's the kind of game they were playing. I'm trying to see, like, who it feels like based on the way they speak. Honestly, I don't think it's anyone we know yet. Like, I'm trying to think this through, but like, I don't think anyone we know that has any sort of reason to be here would speak like this. Much too normal, yeah. Especially, so to cool off and hide, given how it seemed to be getting a little too hot for my tastes. It's a very, like, kind of like casually way of speaking with this line. Very, like, kind of like the sort of way that I wouldn't expect to hear this one from like Sonya or someone like Pluto or Puppeteer. Maybe Puppeteer. I don't know. Not really. It would make like, because the thing also is, if maybe this person was trying to send Ishmael to the library, then I could imagine being Blue Reverb. The entire thing they're doing through the entirety of Ruin is feeding people to the library in order to make it get stronger. But there's no mention of the invitation here, which kind of makes me kind of rule out the idea of it being any Blue Reverb adjacent people. And none of the casino adjacent people we know of in Limbus have this really would make sense either, because the only silvery person is Sonya, and he shouldn't be here, unless maybe I don't know. I guess the thing is, we don't know how long ago Rodion left Eurodevier, so realistically, like, it's possible she left Eurodevier, like, left to wherever she went after that. Sonya came down to, like, the J-Corp nest, all that sort of stuff, before Ruina even started, but feels weird to me. Yeah, I don't know. The Veil, yeah. Very rich. I'm not sure. Could be more J-Corp stuff in the future. I think my consensus is we don't know who it is yet. Don't even know whether they're yeah. Yeah, let's look at her kit. Yeah, you know, delivery potency. Basically, it's like a 3-turn counter thingy. If you get to a high enough braid in that time, you get benefits. Sucker Center, that's skill 3, yes. Oh, that is weird. That is new. Just having, like, the words actually, like, color-coded correctly in the keyword descriptions. Huh. Current opportunity in the future. Maybe, I don't know. Could we end up heading back to J-Corp? Maybe? I'm not sure. It's possible, I guess. Trying to think of what other, like, relevance that J-Corp could have from what we know. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. You equips and use a sloth skill in the left slot. Forming hand fix in the Koi passive. Yep. Base attack skill. Current stand on health to one corresponding the one used one skill affinity. The sucker center use looking one bright potency. Yeah, because it's base or ego. So yeah, you want to have Wrath, you want to have Sloth, you want to have Gloom. So you're probably going to have like Snagger Boom compared to Christmas Nightmare in order to make the most of it. Unfortunate because it means that you're not making use of Title Elegy, because Title Elegy is cool. But you don't really need another Gloom when you have Snagger Boom anyways, and this is the only Sloth Ego she has if you want to be able to safely make use of that. It is a skill too. I guess I don't know. Exclude the Sucker Center. You can gain 1 potency. So either an Ego or skill 3, you gain a bright potency. If you have Form a Hand, you get a bright potency. Form a Hand last turn, this turn is into gain additional potency. Bygone Days Teth. That's another Gloom though. Like, because the thing is, as far as Egos go, your Zayn is Gloom. No matter which one you choose, it's Gloom. So you need to get the Wrath and Sloth otherwise. Christmas Nightmare is your only option for Sloth, and your only option for Wrath would be Ardor Blossom Star or Capote, and Ardor Blossom Star takes the same slot as Christmas Nightmare, so you just kind of want to use that there. Realistically, I mean, I guess thinking through it, you don't need to do it like this because the Gloom is more important than the Wrath. The Wrath is the skill 1, so depending on how exactly this plays out, there's kind of multiple ways it could go, though, thinking about it. Yeah, because you could want Wrath Egos in order to not have to use skill 1s, or because you won't need Wrath Egos because you should have plenty of skill 1s. Yeah, a lot of interesting ideas, that's for sure. Yeah, Form Hand. Sure, turn bursters card. Don't have 5 potency or 0 bright count, use Kozan. Yep. And then Kozan, of course, strong skill bit. It's 4 plus 5, and what it's like, how many reuses is it? 4 reuses. So yeah, this is a 5 coiner if you're at max bright potency. Military defensive skills. Less than 3 bright potency, you don't get to use it though. You get 2 turn bursts if you're at max potency. Just on top of everything else, yeah. It's bright on self. The rest of students your advantage with the question of ones you base attack skills. Interesting. So it says corresponds to a basic. So if you were able to get enough skill changes to replace all skill 3s, it seems she could only get blue suit. Which is definitely really good in Mirror Dungeon, right? Just keep on spamming. I guess if you have that as your bit, you might as well have Tidal Elegy just so you can get even more Gloom Gaming off. I don't know. It's Mirror Dungeon though. You can do whatever in Mirror Dungeon, you'll be fine. Break modes equal the number of coins that weren't used. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So if you kill the enemy prematurely, you basically get refunded potency. Okay. Tremor count, sync count, defense level down. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, normal skills, skill 1, discard if it's not. This discards non-skill ones, which is interesting. This discards non-skill 2s, yeah. How's your sync? Okay, 2 sync count on this one. 2 tremor count, no potency. And this one has all the potency. Hello. Damage for break. So a skill in the same slot is a different skill. Discard that skill, yeah. It's 48% more damage if the target is in amplitude conversion, and if not, you get decay. Very interesting. Yeah, so very interesting. So the one thing I am noticing. I see. Thinking one break potency once per. Okay. Yeah, so shuffle hand. So the clashable counter is if you don't have a hand you can pop this instead, guarantee you'll be able to make up hand next turn, and have a chance to gain potency anyways. Okay, that's nice. So there's not an inherent benefit to discarding in this kit, which is really interesting. Like, obviously there is, but in a situation where you only have skill 3s, it makes no difference, right? It's not like how DHIDs want to have stuff being discarded because they gain benefits for it. This unit wants to discard things so it has the skills available, not in order to gain some sort of resource. It gains the resource by just playing the cards. Or playing the right skills, playing their respective cards. Very interesting. Which I honestly think is a lot more interesting way to take it than something like Molar Otis, right? Molar Otis, fun unit, like, but the tremor count gimmick rarely ever matters. You mainly use her to just spam skill 3s, like, a lot more frequently than most units do. Technically, you don't need to replace all of them. Yeah. I more so just mean the fact that discarding doesn't give you a resource that you want to benefit from. Like, even stuff like, even if, like, DHE Hong Lu, like, even when you're at Insight 3, you want to discard so you can get that offense level up when you have the Gloom Resonance going on. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but there's still reasons to discard. Here, the main reason for the discard is just always to get more of the skill you want. Probably mostly going to be a skill 3, but there's some other antics you can do possible, I'm sure. Actually, that's not bad, like, Tremor and Sinking on the skill 3 as well. It is sinking count negative, but yeah, does this reduce tremor count? Yeah, okay. So as long as you have the right card in hand for this one, it'll work. I have no idea how to play Koi Koi. I can only assume this is very accurate. Because, I mean, this is decently accurate because it's a very weird gimmick, that's for sure, but it definitely seems like a lot of fun. Yeah, these units are both cool. Oh yeah, claim thingies. Sleepy Gregor. I've been considering doing a Mirror Dungeon run, but I am already losing my voice from all the reading I've been doing and all the speaking and whatnot. I guess it's thanks to me not doing daily Mirror Dungeon anymore, and I'm not doing as much of this talking and recording type thing. Don't have as much of a tolerance as I used to, I suppose. But I might just end the stream there. It means, like, I haven't actually used these units all. I just gambled, read the lore, and looked at their kits, but, like, that's how it be. Yeah, I messed that up. Whatever. There we go. That's more like it. The Gregor announcer. What do you say as in your announcer lines, Gregor? What do you think? What do you think? So easy to farm XP. Yeah. Skip gaming. I think the units are worth the pull. I mean, like, if you... I mean, it's... it's Limbus, right? Like, you don't need any units. If you want the units, pull for them. If you don't want them, you don't need them. Like, if nothing else, like, the more Walpurgis is always better, because it allows for people to shard units. Whenever there's a big gap between Walpurgises, it's always so, like, unfortunate, because if someone's new started playing right after the last one, they have to wait so long until they have an ability to get, like, a dozen strong units. And I know, you know, that's standard gacha fare stuff, but still. It's still a lot better than most other gachas. Yep. They seem like very fun units to use. And that's what matters. Kind of unfortunate there's no story, but honestly, this is kind of like Ruin is my favorite game of all time, but I feel so little from Walp stories in general because it kind of feels like it's just like fan servicey type thing that doesn't feel super engaging to me and doesn't really say much usually. I always enjoy the update stories. I honestly prefer update stories over the Walp stories in general. I don't know what the general consensus is on that, but I think the most interesting stuff that comes from, like, things that connect back to Ruina is the stuff that is new, right? That sort of thing. Like, I love a lot of the Canto 8 stuff with tying back to, like, the Lob Corp, H Corp stuff, and that sort of thing, learning about the reasons behind that, that sort of stuff's super cool. It feels like a reasonable way of building upon it. Well, purchases, like, it's so weird how the Limbus's, like, big, like, limited units are all just stuff taken from their previous games. It's very weird. And it definitely hurts, like, Limbus's identity, I suppose. I don't know. I really enjoy Walp units in general, but as far as Walp stories go, I honestly wish if we had any Walp that didn't have a story, it would be something like Eugen, because I don't want to just see Runa Eugen again. That's the thing, right? Why, for Runa Walps especially, why would I want to see more of those people in the past when we could get, like, stuff of them in the future? It's a lot of weird stuff in general. But yeah, these units are fun. Some interesting lore stuff in these, that's for sure. I'm curious what the weird man, like, in this one is supposed to be hinting towards. Because nothing really winds up to me. General receptions comically, yeah. Glad to see these guys getting more love, because I think there's a lot of cool general receptions. I do think there's a decent chance any of the non-Star of the City general receptions are dead in the water and will never matter ever, namely G-Con and Ruina Dante, but I'm not really surprised by those. G-Con could be funny, but we've already gotten our self-bleed unit in the form of, you know, Priest Gregor. And I guess Blood Fiends in general. Or did the Rusted Chains do second to D? I saw some people theorizing on it, but I think Rusted Chains... When we didn't get any Rusted Chain stuff alongside Blade Age and Kurokumo stuff, I thought they were pretty doomed. Because they were supposed to be, like, another, like, kind of rivalry thing to Kurokumo, and I guess just fighting over like the LobCorp territory. It's a shame. I'm not really bothered about not getting like Ruin of Dante because it's just Seven Association. Like it was cool how that was the actually not the first appearance we saw Seven Association because we saw the Seven Association in Distortion Detective first, but seeing them in battle, that sort of thing, that was cool. Dante themselves, whatever gender they are in Ruin, who knows? We don't know for a lot of the general reception stuff, but that's one of the weird ones. But yeah, they weren't particularly interesting. I do really love Dante's book though, because it's just them saying, haha, I have a G-Corp lock on my brain, so you can't get any funny information out of me. And then yeah, we can't. I do hope we get more general reception stuff in the future. Ye is interesting because Ye is vaguely hinted at as potentially knowing Yuria. Hard to say for sure, but it would be funny if that's how we got like more Distortion Detectives type stuff. Hopefully we see the actual Distortion Detective people soon. Hopefully we learn if Yuri is alive or not. Because she was kind of left in a really bad state when Distortion Detective ended. I guess ended, it's kind of weird. But yeah, I'm losing my voice, so I think I'm going to call the stream there. Good stuff. Hey, Gregor. Gregor, anything you want to say? Oh, there he goes. Anything you want to say, Gregor? Anything you want to say to the chat? Yeah? Is that so? Yeah. Shaky shake. Big stretch. Funny noise? No funny noise? Wowie. Good boy, you need some pets. Yeah, he does. Big baby. But yeah. That will be all for the stream. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all some other time. Bye.